everyone, today we're going to do some more cooking and we're going to be making some banana chocolate superhero muffins. So what you're going to need is I already have my liquids already measured out just to make it a bit easier. So I've got right now 3 mashed bananas in my bowl because you need about 1.5 cups. So it's either 2 really big bananas or 3 smaller ones. And then to that, I'm going to add 3 eggs. One, 2, 3. Then I'm gonna wash my hands really quickly because I've got some egg on them. And then the next step is we're going to add in 1/2 cup. The recipe calls for honey, but I've got maple syrup because I didn't have that much honey. And then about 6 tablespoons of melted butter. And I'm actually double checking. It's supposed to be 1/4 cup, so I'm gonna have extra sweet muffins. So I'm actually not even gonna pour all of the. Let's do it all. So very sweet muffins today, and that's okay. And then we're gonna mix all those together. And then next we're going to add the dry ingredients. We're going to start with 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, 'It looks like this is just going to be the rest of my cocoa powder, so I'm just going to dump it in. It calls for 2 cups of almond meal, and if you can't find almond flour right now, you can always just grind up your own almonds in a blender, or if you wanted to just substitute with regular flour, you can, but you'll just need to increase the butter to 1 whole stick and reduce the oats that we're going to add as well because there's less fat and it'll be drier without the almond meal in there. So we're going to do 4 cups of that. So I have a 1/2 scoop right now. So we're going to do 4 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then our last dry ingredient is some old-fashioned oats, which is we're going to need 1.5 cups. So again, I'm going to need, since this is a 1/2 cup, I'm going to need 3 of these. Let me get that out of the way. 1, 2, 3. And that's the rest of my oats. So I had the perfect amount of cocoa powder and oats to make these today. And then what you're going to do is just going to mix it all together. And if you want, you can also add 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. And I'm also realizing I forgot to add the salt. So we're going to need to add 1/2 teaspoon of fine sea salt. And that's not quite 1/2 teaspoon. Pop that in there. And then this is also the stage where if you wanted to add chocolate chips, you can add 1/2 cup of them. And another optional ingredient is to add about 1/2 cup of grated carrot, but I didn't have any chocolate chips or carrots to add to this. Plus I added extra maple syrup, so I think these will be plenty sweet without the extra chocolate in there. Alright, and then so when it's all mixed together, it's gonna look like this. It kind of looks like a brownie mixed with oats in it. And then what you also need to do is, this came up faster than I thought, so I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we're going to add our mix to a muffin tins. I didn't have any muffin liners, so I'm just using these silicone ones. And this should make 12 muffins, but I could only find 11 of my muffin holders instead of all 12, so mine will end up being a little bit bigger than yours. And then I'm gonna grab my scoop to make it easier to put, just make it less messy when I add the batter to the tins. So I'm gonna add 3 scoops to each one, and then I might need to add more depending on how much batter I have left after I fill up the last one. And what's really great about these superhero muffins is that I got them from a cookbook called Run Fast, Eat Slow, and there's a few different books in this series, and each book has different variations of this recipe. So this chocolate banana one is actually coming from the meal planner guide, but in the original book, and then there's a cook fast one, there's other ones like pumpkin. There's a beet blueberry one. That one's really good. I think they have an apple raisin one. I'm not really a fan of apples or raisins, so I haven't tried that yet. But the other ones are really yummy, so I'm sure that tastes super great too. So after adding 3 scoops, I still have plenty of batter left, so I'm going to add a 4th scoop to each of them. Which probably means that each of these scoops is about a tablespoon, and 4 tablespoons is about 1/4 of a cup. So if you're just going to use 1 scoop, probably 1/4 of a cup or so in each of your muffin tins will work out nicely. And I still have just a little bit extra, so let's add a little bit more to a few of them that looks like I didn't quite get enough in the first time. So once my oven is ready to go, I'm gonna pop these in and bake them for 30 to 35 minutes. You'll know they're ready because the tops will look a little brown. It's kind of hard to see that with chocolate, but if you also insert a toothpick into the middle and pull it out, it should be pretty clean. If there's still a lot of dough on it, it means you need to bake them for longer. And then I will, after these are done baking, I will cut to the next clip and we can try some together. Hey everyone, welcome back. I took my muffins out of the oven after 35 minutes. They were baked perfectly, which is really great because they were a little bit on the bigger side since I only made 11 instead of 12. But they've been out of my oven for about 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours now. So they're nice and cool. I went for a walk and it started to rain, so I ended up changing my clothes halfway through the day. But if you look at the muffin, it's like, you can't really tell that it's brown because it's made out of chocolate, but if you poke it, you can feel that it's kind of crispy, a little crunchy on top. So let's try a bite. I like to eat my muffins upside down because the top is my favorite part of it. And they taste really good. tastes just like bananas and chocolate, which is one of my favorite combinations. So if you make them at home, let me know how it goes. The recipe will be in the description part, in case I kind of went a little too quickly in the video for you to hear everything. And yeah, so let me know if you make them, or maybe if you change up the ingredients. Like I said, they've released 3 different recipe books with this recipe in there, and they've had, I think, 5 different flavorings that they've done. They've done chocolate banana, they've done pumpkin oat, that one's really yummy, blueberry beet, apple raisin, and then I can't remember what their 5th flavor is, but I usually only make the pumpkin, blueberry beet, and the chocolate banana ones because those are my favorite flavors. But you can put any combination in there. Like I said, you could add chocolate chips to this if you wanted. They recommend a grated carrot. I didn't have that, so I left it out. Or even, so they're kind of just like our bars at school, except for these have nut flour in them instead. But you could do pumpkin date if you wanted, or blueberry flax. So if you wanted to take this recipe and twist it so it's some of your favorite school flavors, you could do that too. But I also sent the school bar recipes a few weeks ago, so you could even just make those if you wanted, but I don't have enough dates to make those, so I went with this recipe instead. So let me know what you think. Bye.